Peace, family. It's your brother Chase back at you again with another reactionary video. And this time we're going to be reacting to a South African woman. And this video kind of has gone viral on TikTok. This is a video that has caused a lot of waves through the diaspora. Went viral about a month ago, but it just shows you the level that some of these tethers or coons, that we like to call them, was scooped to disrespect foundational Black Americans. But of course, we're going to do some straightening. Of course, we're going to do some checking. And remember, this is for educational purpose only. And I got to warn you, this video is going to be very triggering. This video is going to be a video that is going to maybe cause you to pause the video. If you feel the need to pause the video, go ahead and pause it and come back. But I think it's important as foundational Black Americans that we don't get emotional and we just slow cook things. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to slow cook and slow debunk everything that she's doing and saying in the video for educational purposes, so we can learn and we can grow from it. And we can know how to debunk this nonsense that they talk about in the diaspora. With that being said, let's get straight into the video.
I think that Oakland show gon' be.
Oh, hell nah.
They not like us. 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 You think the fake gon' let you disrespect Pac, nigga? I think that Oakland show gon' be.
Oh, hell nah. My map done grew out.
Okay, and again, this is a South African woman. And we're gonna go ahead and break this down, family. But I want to play some more videos that she put out. And as you can see, this is a response to what they say was disrespect during the parade that happened in New Orleans a couple months ago. And instead of addressing what happened in New Orleans, they decided to again come for all foundational Black Americans and talk about our lineage, our Holocaust that we went through, and to make light of it, family. So I want you to understand the mindset in which these people are coming from. I'm not even going to go into the New Orleans situation anymore. I already did that in the previous video. But, you know, she continued. She continued.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
What? Told my baby daddy in jail?
Okay, and so you can see again, and it's funny to me how a lot of these Africans and Caribbeans and other people in the diaspora, they're always talking about how Black Americans, the West pushes propaganda on their people. The West is always misrepresenting their people. The West is always doing this. The West is always doing that. But at the same time, they take the most negative stereotypes they can possibly find. Okay, they can possibly find, and they display that as a representation of us as foundational Black Americans. So the cotton picking, and let's break it down with the cotton picking first. Let me be clear, family. I'm not ashamed, and neither should you be ashamed of what our ancestors had to do on the plantation. I'm not ashamed of that, because the real story is not that we were picking cotton. The real story is what we did despite of having to pick cotton, despite of being labeled a 3/5 of a human being, despite being told we weren't allowed to read, we weren't allowed to write. Despite all of that, their descendants came up with over 50,000 patents. Patents on things like the filament for the light bulb. Lewis Latimer is the descendant of those people, okay? He not only lit up New York City, but went across the world to lit up places like London and give us the filament for the light bulb that we see today. The filament for the light bulb that South Africans benefit from. Gary Morgan is a descendant of those people who created the traffic light. Okay, the modern day traffic light, the modern day gas mask. Granville T. Woods, one of the early pioneers of the electric railway system. Okay, people like Maria Van Brown, the home security system. All these people are descendants of those people who were on the plantation. And those people on those plantations, despite only being a significant minority in the country, broke those shackles and chains. Okay, fought and won their freedom in the American Civil War, despite of, okay, that's our story, a story of resistance, despite of, and despite of us picking cotton and being reduced and being told we are not shit on a constant basis, those people are still known around the world. Their descendants are still known around the world See, you know about our story, which shows the power that foundational Black Americans have. See, most foundational Black Americans and most people around the world don't even know what happened to the South African people. Okay? They don't know what happened to people in Kenya. They don't know about Frederick Luger in Nigeria. They don't know about Cecil John Rose. You dig? They don't know about Mussolini and the Italian fascists who came through Ethiopia. They don't know, and quite frankly, they don't care to know. But we are such a resourceful people. We are such a resilient people that you know about our story. You know about our Holocaust, even though you're halfway across the world. You know what we've been through. You know about our music. You're playing Not Like Us. Okay? You know about our culture and our achievements and what we created. See, in spite of us picking that cotton, we're still more globally renowned. We're still more globally appreciated. We still have achieved more than you, a people who claim to have been free. Our culture is still more impactful than your culture. Okay? And that's what really gets them. That's where the envy comes from, family. So I don't get offended when they talk about picking cotton. I don't get offended because the cotton represents in spite of, family. So I want you to understand this. And I don't want you to let people like this get in your head and get you triggered. Because everything that we do, we prove that we are the culture. Okay? The way that we walk, the way that we talk, they're over there trying to emulate that. Let's be clear. We are such an influential people that people can just simply make derogatory videos about us and blow up and become viral. We're that big of a thing. Okay? And they understand that. Now, this woman, before she started putting out these videos, I want to say she had about 2,000-3,000 followers. She now sits at 85,000 followers, family. That shows you we are the niche audience. We are the culture. If you can talk about and get the attention of foundational Black Americans, you go viral. And that's what they understand, family. But I want to break down some more stuff because some foundational Black Americans got in the comments section and they started to respond back to her. And she responded back to the response. But I want to break this down and I want to really slow cook this. But before I do that, family, I also want to show you this. Hold on one second. Now, what I want to show you, family, what I want to show you is I want you to look at the comment section. Because oftentimes what you have, family, is you have a lot of people who act like, oh, this is just one person. If you come to South Africa, they really love you. Okay, look at the comment section. And I want you to notice, number one, this video has, the video I just showed you, has 182,300 likes. Okay, and by the way, I had to like the video in order to save the video. For some reason, something's wrong with my save button, so that's why I had to like it. Okay, but notice the comment section. The overseen amount of likes, but the comment section. South Africa is not for beginners. Okay, this is somebody making light of it. This is another fellow South African making light of it. That had 37,000 likes. You forgot the swearing unnecessarily, basically saying that foundational Black Americans, oh, all we do is curse and use profanity, okay? Oh, all we do is curse and use profanity. That has 24,000 likes, okay? Here's another person basically trying to act and do a foundational Black American accent or act like somebody who's a foundational Black American. Says, I live with my 4 kids, Shambanquisha, Veronisha, Quintavious, and De'Aaron Curtis Jr. Okay. So they're trying to be funny. They're making fun of our names and what we name our kids, or some people name their kids. This is the next comment. These are all in a row, family. I'm not skipping over any comments. Someone liked my comment so I can come back and defend her. These are people from the diaspora. The next comment, Kenyans gather here as we wait to ride for our cousins if needed. Okay, so now you have the diaspora jumping in it. And I told y'all that the only time we see these folks on the continent unify is when it's time to gang up on foundational Black Americans. They don't show any unity. If you want to see Pan-Africanism on the continent, mention a foundational Black American. They all universally come in agreement. Okay? They all universally come in agreement. And that's why I told you they crop up these little beefs in order to get attention from us. And all of them fight for the attention. So they like, oh, damn, somebody getting attention from Black America. I'm a Kenyan. Us Kenyans agree 100%. Okay? Somebody said they are coming for the whole continent because they think it's one country. No one said anything about the whole continent. Okay? But the whole continent is coming for us. Understand the projection. Okay? Let's skip down a little bit because it's more disrespect. You got to add that you're on your 15th child at 22. Okay? So now they're talking about we have baby mamas, different things of that nature. They never talk about the baby mamas that run rampant over there. This is another very interesting comment. Hey, my South African brothers and sisters, the Jamaican Online Defense Force is on standby, ready to go should you need us. We fight for Africa any day, anytime. So now you have Jamaicans getting involved, family. Now you have Jamaicans getting involved. And this is what we talk about, family. Whenever it's time to come for foundational Black Americans, they form the Avengers, the whole diaspora. Now, understand, these folks can't agree on anything until it's time to come at us. Let's be clear. It's time to come at us. And what's interesting is Jamaicans have a similar history when it comes to enslavement. All right? Yet, they don't view it as that. Yet, they view it as, hey, let's come for the foundational Black Americans. See, we're public enemy number one amongst the diaspora. This is the truth, family. This is the truth. Okay? Let that sink in. But let's continue because, again, she's going to start responding back to comments. She's going to start responding back to comments. Okay, so, she's going to start responding back to comments in the comment section because some foundational Black Americans came and got on them. The overwhelming majority was people in agreements. But nonetheless, she responds back to the people in the comment section. Somebody said, she's recording the white part of South Africa. Video record your side, twin. Basically what he was saying. And so this is what a lot of Africans and Caribbeans do. This is the new age version of capping. What she did was she posted a video of some big houses in her village, I guess, Limpopo, whatever the shit is called, okay? Now, this is the recording. Nice house. Okay, so that's Limpopo. Okay, but here's the reality, family. The same province that she just showed us, which a lot of them do. One second. Now let's actually go to statistics, family. This is the province she was showing us. Remember how they were showing those mansions? And I told you this is common flexing in South Africa. What they like to do is create this illusion that they're really living like that. They'll show you the 3 or 4 mansions in their whole province and try to act like that's how they're living. This is Limpopo province in South Africa. It has one of the highest poverty rates in the country, okay? The same place she just showed us, okay? So she went and showed you the 2 mansions. In 2022, the unemployment rate in Limpopo was 36.3%. That's an extremely high unemployment rate. Extremely high. Understand in the United States, they try to keep unemployment just under 5%. Okay, so 36.3% according to statistics in South Africa. And they also indicated, peep this, family, that the poverty head count in Limpopo is 4.1 million, which is 77% of the population living in poverty. Okay? 77% of the population is living in poverty, but she wants to try to create an image by showing you 3 or 4 mansions that, oh, damn, they're living this sophisticated life. That's cap. Okay? That's cap, family. And we got to start pulling people cars on this. See, we don't have to get emotional. We don't have to get emotional. Let's just start pulling cards. Okay, you're living so great. You're showing us mansions in Limpopo. Okay, let's go and see what the poverty rate is. Let's go see how people are really living out there, family. But hold on, I'm not done. Hold on. Let's go a little bit deeper. Let's go to South Africa just in general. One second, family. Let's go to South Africa just in general. Okay, in South Africa, approximately 64% of Black South Africans live in poverty. And again, I'm not saying this to make fun of South Africans. I'm pointing out statistics. See, if you're going to start showing videos, because according to the image you were trying to project, I would have thought all of y'all were living in mansions. She said that's her side of town. That's how they living. Okay. 64% of Black South Africans live in poverty, according to South African Human Rights Commission. Okay. This figure has been consistently reported across various studies and reports indicating a high level of poverty within the population group. All right. Let's just pull statistics. No need for us to get emotional, twin. All right. No need for us to get emotional. But hold on. Let's continue, because she started showing more parts. She started showing more parts. Hold on. Oh, wait. I think we missed. Hold on. I think we missed something. I was moving to the beat. Oh, let's pause it. Let's wait. She says the heart of Soweto. This is the heart of Soweto. This is a township in Soweto, because she's showing us her side. I guess she's trying to debunk the poverty that is in South Africa, because now she's showing us Soweto. What she's showing us. Oh, damn. Look nice over there. Now, peep, it ain't nobody in the driveway, family. This look like a new development. It don't even look like it's open yet. Okay, this looks brand new township. It doesn't even look like it's open yet. Okay, I don't see nothing in the driveway. A few cars going down the street. Okay, very interesting. Okay, so that's Soweto, but we got to slow cook this thing now. We can't let them get away with nothing. We can't let these folks get away with nothing, because they don't let us get away with anything. So I said, damn, well, let me see how people in Soweto are living. Maybe this is the good side, because she's showing us her side. Okay. Damn, shit, they damn near stopped doing current studies on Soweto. I couldn't even find no modern day stuff. But this is, according to a few sources, Soweto has a high poverty rate. According to 2017 reports from South Africa Market Insight, a significant portion of Soweto's population, roughly 19%, earn no income. None. They don't earn any income. 19%. Okay. Additionally, a 2019 New York Times article noted that over half of young people younger than 35 in Soweto are jobless. So high unemployment rates and high poverty. But I said, that's coming from like the West, though. That's coming from the West. But then the ancestors put a video in front of me, family. They put a video in front of me. Let's go to the video. This video.
First. Let's do Soweto.
Now, this video, family, is about 10 minutes long, because, again, we're going to slow cook this thing. I got time today. We're going to slow cook this thing. This video is about 10 minutes long. And if you notice this video, Sabu or SBU Live, I don't know how she goes by or what the words stand for, but I've reacted to one of her videos before. She is a foundational Black American. She moved out to South Africa. She's very Pan-African. Okay, has extremely strong Pan-African mindset. She's always kind of throwing shade at her own lineage for some reason. She's always talking about Black Americans have no culture. Black Americans are lazy. But recently, family, she just uploaded this video, and she was talking about the extreme levels of poverty in Soweto. Ironically, the same place that this woman was showing these nice townships, acting like the majority of the population is living like that. Those townships that didn't even look like nobody was in it, probably those are for white folks. But let's just see what they say about Soweto and what they show us. 10-minute video. Slow cook, real slow cook. We turning up the eye a little bit. Turn up the eye. Them greens is sizzling right now. We making some soul food. Let's get it.
Soweto first.
Wow.
All right. So we're going to get a bit more serious. As you know, and as you can see, that South Africa has a lot of wealth. It is a very, in my opinion, a very wealthy country.
South Africa has a lot of wealth for who? For who? Because, one second, we're going to come back to this, family, because we got to break down everything. Because these are the things they kind of push out there. South Africa got a lot of wealth. Okay, let's be clear, family. Now, hold on. Now, in 2023, this is according to statistics. Black South African household had an average income of 143,632 rand, okay, which is equivalent to $7,531.66 a year, okay? And we already know as well, as I showed you guys earlier, that 64% of the Black South African population in general is living in poverty, okay? So when she says a lot of wealth, she can't be talking about the Black South African population. And I have to go there, family. I have to go there. So I want to put everything into context. Let's be clear. The wealth is with the white South Africans. It's with the white South Africans. But I'll let her continue, okay? Because she's in Soweto.
But there is a lot of disparity. And it is a very, in my opinion, a very wealthy country. But there is a lot of disparity. And we actually had an opportunity to see this firsthand. It actually opened my eyes a lot to just the problems that we have here. And well, it's just not here, y'all. It's everywhere, but it's different here. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm someone that has grown up in the United States, and we are quite privileged in the United States. And this is not a lie. This is a firsthand confession. Compared to some of the things I've seen here in South Africa, we are a privileged people. I want you guys to talk about that a little bit, because we did have a chance to visit Soweto. We actually had a chance to actually walk with and, walk through one of the townships, walk through the township, excuse me. And
these are the actual townships. Remember, she's showing drone shots, that girl in the video, she's showing drone shots of these townships that looks like nobody's even in. And it's only like 10 of them. It's only like 10 houses. Okay, these are the townships that people actually live in. All right.
We got firsthand information from one of the residents there, just about how they actually live. So either one of you, go ahead and tell me what you think about the visit to Soweto. And we also will talk about the visit to the museum.
It's not funny, family, but damn, these brothers and sisters, they looking like they just experienced somebody be murdered, boy. They looking at each other like, damn, do we even want to talk about what we saw? Do we even want to talk about what we saw? Shit.
Also, that was there.
When we first pulled up to the township, a little hesitant to get out.
And this is actually video of them going into the township, family. This is actual video. Okay, so this is real live footage. This is from like a week ago. Okay, well, she uploaded it like a week ago, this video.
But our driver, he assured us it was safe. Honestly, I don't think I was going to get out at first, but I really would have regretted it after the experience that I had. Nice people. The kids, they just seem to be so innocent. It's kids being kids. And in America, you have to grow up so fast.
And shout out to the babies. I'm not against the South African babies, okay? Shout out to the babies. Again, this is not to make fun of them, but, we got to start pulling y'all car. Y'all running around here talking about you're showing mansions and trying to flex lifestyles that your people don't live. Okay, and you're trying to come from us and our lineage. We gotta start checking a lot of this stuff.
They really have nothing.
Damn.
Their conditions are the poorest I've seen, even than I think some of the homeless people deal with, even in the States. It was.
Let that sink in, family. Let that sink in. He said their conditions are worse than the homeless people in the United States.
Pretty bad. It was pretty bad. But at the same time, as they live in those conditions, they all had smiles on their faces. They all were pleasant. They all were nice. But it's definitely a humbling experience coming up. Didn't come up with a whole lot. Raised by a single mom. She worked 2-3 jobs just to make sure we had the things that we needed. And growing up, I guess I never realized what I didn't have, because I had the things that I had to have to survive. And I guess it's the same way with them.
Mm-hmm. You don't know something.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know.
Can't miss what you don't have.
Yeah.
When I got back from the trip, I called my son and I said, I have never seen poverty, or what I have considered to be poverty, the way I have seen this poverty to be.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying that these are staunch Pan-Africanist family. They're very Pan-African. They'll throw their lineage. They'll throw foundational Black America. I can't speak for these two individuals because I've never seen them before. But I know the other one, she'll throw Pan-African. She'll throw her lineage under the bus for Pan-Africanism. She crashes out for them Africans. So if they're saying it, family, it was times 10. It was times 10, okay?
What I feel like we have in the United States of America, and Lord forgive me, and people forgive me too, we have a whole bunch of lazy people.
Oh, Lord. Okay, here we come. So they're in the same boat, family. They're in the same boat. Now it's lazy. I want you to notice how they talk about each situation. Notice how when they talk about, and she said Americans, but I'm going to include foundational Black Americans in there because we are Americans. When they talk about foundational Black Americans who are homeless, who are jobless, it's always you're lazy. And they're so delicate on the other end when they're talking about Africans who are living worse, according to them, than homeless people. Peep it.
Because you have the ability to do a whole lot more than you're doing. And not only that, homeless shelters are everywhere in the States. Mm-hmm. The homeless can go take showers. They feed them. They clothe. They'll give them clothes. Whatever they need. They'll even sometimes give them housing. It's so many informal housing communities here. I've just never seen anything like it.
Close your mind.
Of course,
this is the township. This is the place she was talking about. They were living this great life. Okay, the girl from the TikTok video.
My first thought is, oh my God, what do we do? How can we help? Now, I've tried to help homeless in the USA. And a lot of them they don't want help. No. They like it just like it is. But they like it like it is because they don't have to be this way. They can choose. People, they can choose what they want to eat.
Okay.
I mean, these people can't choose what they want to eat. They eat what's available. They eat off the land. Mm-hmm. They eat in groups, which I thought that was beautiful to see these little girls eating with their hands.
Again, peep how they talk about them. When it comes to us, you just chose to live that way. When it comes to foundation, y'all chose to live that way. They start finger wagging. When it comes to them, oh, well, yeah, this was the worst poverty I've ever seen, but they were happy. Well, if they're happy, then that means they're choosing to live that way, right? If you ain't got no problem with how you living, that's on you. Let's be clear. And let's take the training wheels off of Africa. Africa, y'all want to talk cash shit. Y'all want to sit up here and wag your finger. Okay, let's wag our finger back. Nigga, them white South Africans ain't living in squalor. Them white South Africans ain't living in shanty towns and slums. The majority of them aren't. Okay? Them white South Africans eating steak. They controlling the farmland. They eating all the vegetables. They are 10%, 10% of the population? Y'all sitting over there, 90% of the population, smiling, happy, living in squalor? Huh? You telling me you got all these animals, all this fertile land that's underneath your feet, and you're living in squalor? But we're the ones who lazy. No. It's foundational Black America. We're the ones who lazy. We're 13% of the population. We're in the belly of the beast. They spend trillions of dollars keeping us in control. We're surrounded by tanks and tethers. And the moment we end up jobless, here y'all come wagging y'all fingers. And I'm talking to the FBA coons too. You dig? But then when it comes to Africa, oh, well, they were happy. Listen, It ain't no excuse for that. It ain't no excuse for that. If they kept the same energy they had with us, with them white South Africans, they'll have them about the paint. If they supported the Ryder brothers over there, like Julius Malema, they'll be fine. And they'll have them white South Africans again out the paint. See, we love y'all Pan-Africanists. Y'all love to put on the training wheels when it comes to Africans. You're always trying to lighten it up. Oh, well, it's the West, it's this, it's that. No, it's not. Like you said, they were happy. Oh, they were smiling, living in them slums. They were smiling. We don't be doing that. We be complaining. And then they criticize us for complaining. They always talk about we complain too much. Yeah, when we're owed some, damn it, we're gonna shake the table trying to get what's owed to us. And that's why our homeless are living better than their people in poverty. You did? Because we're gonna make sure we look out for our brothers and sisters. We're gonna make sure that, hey, when we can't go in certain establishments and when we can't get access to capital, we're gonna call that out. And we're gonna stomp and we're gonna shake the table to make sure that happens. That's why we're in the condition we're in. They love to sit up here and act like, as foundational Black Americans, we were handed, white people just gave us something in America. No, we had to shake the table. You dig? We had to have those long, hot summers of 1967 when Black folks were coming home from war, started sniping folks from the rooftops. We had to have brothers perform and act in acts like the zebra killings out in San Francisco so white folks get some act right. You dig? Huey P. and the Deacons of Defense had to lay down the law. Brothers like Rudy Shields out of Mississippi had a group in an organization called the Spirits that made sure economic boycotts went through, that made sure people had civil rights legislation, that made sure the employment rate in Mississippi towns increased. They had to lay down their lives for that. Don't come sit up here and tell me, oh, they smiling, living in the slums, but then you come wag your finger talking about we're lazy. No, keep that same energy with them. The hell, y'all 90% of the population and the 10% got all the damn farmland. They eating all the steaks. They living in all the high rises. Shit, get out of here with that.
From a table, and they were just as happy.
Just as happy.
This community was named after Elias. Elias was a good record.
Listen to what she's saying. Kind of follow the words at the bottom.
Before Nelson Mandela was released in prison. So this community was established in 1993. Our population is plus minus 15 to 20,000, including the ones who are staying in RTP houses. I think you saw it on that side while you're passing. This is the same community. So in this community, we have different tribes. People are from Somalia, Ethiopia, Mozambique, Botswana, Lesotho, but the most dominating language.
Notice she said people from all over down there living in the slums. Okay? People from all over. And what's interesting, the first country she said Somalia, family. Let me show you something. I ran across this, family. Listen. Now, a brother asked a similar question I just asked, and I just stated that, you know, y'all are 90% of the population, and y'all sitting over there getting controlled by the 10%. And listen to her response.
Cape Town, South African. Just because I made a video on the Zulu parade doesn't mean I'm South African. I'm actually Somalian.
I'm actually Somalian. So according to her, now I don't know if she's trolling or not, but I'm going to take her word for it. So she's Somalian, and her people are over there living in the slums, okay? So that's why I stopped it and paused it right there. That's her. She's Somalian. So she's a Somalian over there. She came all the way. She fled. She fled Somalia because the Somalians, boy, Lord, that's a video for another day. You know, some of the stuff they say and some of the places that they're living in over there. But she ran all the way to South Africa, and now she's over here in South Africa. She's going hard body on foundational Black Americans in the name of South Africans. That's very interesting. She's from Somalia, but some of her people are also in those Soweto slums. You dig? But let's continue with the video.
This is our water. It's 100% red water. We just came with our packet. and then bring it to the house.
Okay.
This street you will find 3 taps, which is one here, one in the middle, and also one down there. So we have a street from 1 until 12. We have a passage, this one apart to another street, which actually the shortcuts is. So
To get to the water.
Pardon?
Shortcuts to get to the water.
No, each street you will find 3 taps, which is one here, one in the middle, and also one.
Oh, got it.
But if you want to
She's talking about the water and how they have to access the water from a certain time period in the day, different things of that nature.
pass to another street, which actually is a shortcut, and then to get it to reach another street. So as you see, each yard it has one toilet, so we don't share toilets, we only share water. So there's a company that assigned by a
So basically, they don't share toilets, but they have to share the water. Okay.
government. Each and every month they come and drain for us the toilet. It's so free. Even if it gets full before time, we have to call them and come to drain it for us. So as you see, it has a toilet. So over here, this is our illegal connection of electricity, this black wire. Yes. We just stole it from Arctic houses to bring it this side. So each government can come anytime and cut it. But when they
That the government can come at any time and cut their electricity. Okay, this is how they're living. This is the real Soweto. This is of a week ago. Okay, this is their townships where 15, 20,000 of their people live.
go
Okay.
back, we just go back and install it again.
She's saying they cut the electricity, but they just come back and they just fix it up again. They know how to fix it up.
Any
Normal
question?
life.
No. So in this community, we don't have schools. We
In the community, they don't have any schools. That's what she's saying. They don't have any schools in this community.
only have a
And that's interesting because a lot of South Africans love to talk about Black American education. Oh, you Black Americans are so stupid. Okay. Okay. I'm not even gonna pull up none of y'all school statistics over there, your education and your reading levels. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna come for the babies. That's sad. I'm not gonna come for the babies. But she's saying in these communities, there's no schools.
kindergarten, 7 of them. Yes.
They only have 7
We have to go to
kindergarten.
New communities where we're going to learn our home languages, first additional language, and other subjects. It depends on us which language are we interested to. There's a physics, maths, physics, maths, geography, and other subjects. But you have to choose 5 of them in the English and your home language. Yes. So in this community, in terms of shop, we don't have shops. We only have a tuck shop that owns by a Somalian person who purchases our military service. And also, if you want to go and buy some proper groceries, you have to go to Paramount this side or Fetris this side.
And you say to purchase from what? Whatever. She said there's no shops. How far do you have to go to get groceries?
I think it's plus minus 20 minutes away from here.
Okay, so they got to walk 20 minutes to get some groceries over there. There's no shops or anything in the community. All right, this is how they're living over there. This is how they're living. That's what she's saying. There's no shops or anything in the community. So they have to walk about 20 minutes to go to a shop.
How many?
20 minutes away from here.
You walk?
If you walk, yes, we can walk. But some of them, they just take taxis. Yes. So, in terms of
hold on one second. She said there was 5 shops, like that convenience store. We call them convenience stores. Convenience stores. She said there. You know what I did not.
All right. Basically, I just wanted y'all to get the feel for it.
any question?
Not so
Okay.
far. We're good. You know what I did not see a lot of, and I'm just wondering. I did not see and not that anybody invited me into their informal.
Now, this is the Foundation of Black American Woman. She's talking about what she didn't see again.
Spacing, but I didn't see lotions and soaps and hair products or
Toiletries of
any kind. And I wonder, is that a thing? Is that a?
I have no
issue
idea.
or
I'm
problem?
sure. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think it is. I think they probably have what they need. I think that's probably a working class of people. I think they have jobs. I think they go to work. I think their kids go to school. I just think that due to the unemployment, I think which is about 40% over here.
40% unemployment, family. That's damn near half of the population is unemployed. This is actually how they're living over there. And remember, she brought this up. She named this towns. I didn't go searching for this. She named this. We're just doing research on it now. You dig? Because a lot of them claim they're actually living so great. You know, when they come to America, they're the kings and queens of Zamunda. Okay. And y'all just believing with this, what the United States be telling y'all. Oh, okay. Okay. Them statistics ain't looking good. Them actual communities, those actual interactions from people on the ground who actually go to those places, they're talking about the poverty. Okay. This is talking, and these are staunch Pan-Africans. So they're trying to put it in a positive light.
They don't have high paying jobs. I think maybe being here is very expensive and, you know, for them, and it doesn't quite balance itself, is what I think. But I do think that they go to work, they take the kids to school, they wear uniforms, they do all the things that anyone else would do. That's what I'm envisioning. That's what I'm hoping is happening. It's just something different for us to see.
She said, that's what I'm envisioning. That's what I'm hoping, you know, as a Pan-African. I'm hoping y'all not really living like this. You did, because a lot of us, we go over there and we have this Wakandanized vision that they didn't sold us through TikTok and through social media, how they're really living. So that's actually Soweto. Okay, that's actually Soweto, the place that she was trying to show these 5-6 townships and act like that's how they're living over there. Okay, but I showed y'all the statistics. I showed y'all video from people who were just over there. This is, like I said, this video is about a week old. You can check it out on Sabu Live, SBU Live, her channel. I think it's the last video she uploaded. And like I said, the ancestors just blessed me with that video. That's how they're really living over there. The high poverty rate, walking 20 minutes to the store. Again, 64%, and I'll pull it up again, of South Africans, Black South Africans, are living in poverty. And understand this, family. When I say in poverty, the poverty line over there is different than the poverty line here. Okay? It's different. The poverty line over there might be a couple dollars a day. If you make more than a couple dollars a day, they don't consider you in poverty. Matter of fact, we talking, let's just pull up what the poverty line is in South Africa. Okay. So again, as a reminder, in South Africa, approximately 64% of Black South Africans live in poverty, according to the South African Human Rights Commission. That's one. Okay, but what is the poverty line? What is the poverty line? Okay, in 2024, the South African national poverty line is 1,109 South African Rand per month, which is equivalent to about $60 per month, family. That's the poverty line. So basically, 64% of Black South Africans are making less than $60 a month. Okay, that's the poverty line. Compared to the poverty line in the United States, let's go and let's just see in real time. What is the poverty line in the United States? Because roughly 17% of Black Americans in the United States are living below the poverty line. What is the poverty line in the United States? Okay, let's go per month. Per month, okay? So basically, if you make less than $1,255 per month, you're living below poverty. Okay, that's damn near 10, 15 times with the poverty line higher than what the poverty line is in South Africa. So people, foundational Black Americans living in poverty over here, which they try to point out, which they try to point to, they love talking about our hoods. Those same people in our projects, in our hoods, would be living that elite life in South Africa. Okay? They would be living an elite life in South Africa with $1,255 a month. Okay? So we got to start checking it at the door. Y'all don't want to talk about poverty. So 64% of Black South Africans are living below $60 a month. They're not even making $60. That's like $2 a day. But, you know, I showed y'all earlier that you had a lot of Africans, people from around the continent jumping in and around the diaspora. Let's also be clear, because y'all about to catch some bullets, metaphorically speaking. You dig? in Africa, since we had so many Kenyans and other people from the diaspora, this girl is Somalian, okay? She's jumping in. A lot of y'all couldn't wait to take shots at foundational Black Americans. Y'all need to sit y'all ass down, because in 2025, around 438.6 million people in Africa were living in extreme poverty. Extreme poverty, with the poverty threshold at $2.15 US a day. Okay? So 438.6 million people in Africa are not even or making right at only $2.15 US a day. You're living in what is called extreme poverty. So that's roughly a third of the population on the whole continent of Africa. That's what you're making. That's what you're making, family. Sit y'all ass down, put down that TikTok, okay, and get them resources, get a shovel and get them resources that's underneath your feet. Start controlling them, start owning them, and doing something with the resources. Like we did something with the resources we had. We took our physical and natural talents and turned it into a hip hop, turned it into a jazz, turned it into an R&B. We used our pennies and created Black Wall Streets, penny loans and saving banks. Okay, sisters like Maggie Walker. You dig? We use our resources, what little resources we had, and turned it into something, turned it into inventions. Okay? Let's be clear. When foundational Black Americans weren't getting the services that we needed, when we couldn't get the services that we were rendered, you had foundational Black Americans, okay, in the Hill districts of Pittsburgh and places like that, who said, okay, we're dying out here in the streets from gunshot wounds and different things of that nature. The police won't come to our neighborhood. We're going to create a paramedic unit. Some of the first paramedics, some of the first ambulance people and paramedics to work on the ambulance were foundational Black Americans. You dig? So that's what we do. That's what we do, family. We always are creating, and we're always using our resources and talents and whatever opportunity we get to create. Africans, y'all need to do the same thing. Respectfully. Instead of getting on TikTok, finding the most degenerate content you can find about foundational Black Americans and using it in order to attempt to tear us down, because you don't tear us down. You, in fact, make us stronger. You make us stronger, because what y'all don't understand is we've been hearing the most negative and derogatory things about us our whole life, and we continue to push. But I'm not done, because she wasn't done. Okay, now she went into another video. So somebody said, I could never, this is a foundational Black American, said I could never get offended by people who still have dirt roads and walk barefoot. And she posted this video of her, I guess, riding through the street showing all the paved roads. Okay, and again, this is more video image capping. What they like to do, they like to go show the few roads that are paved and then act like it ain't no dirt roads in their community. Just like they like to show the 2 or 3 mansions in their province and act like they're all living like that. Like the poverty ain't high, like the crime ain't high. Okay? So, you know me, I said, oh, damn. Okay, y'all living good. So I said, let me look up what percentages of the roads in South Africa are paved, I should say. So this is a combination of sources, family. It says some sources indicate that roughly half of South Africa's roads are paved or tarred. So about half, 50% are paved, 50% aren't. Others provide more specific numbers. One report states that provisional roads consist of 170,837 kilometers of unpaved and 52,114 kilometers of paved roads, suggesting that 77% of the provisional road network is unpaved. Okay? And that's according to, hold on. Let me pull up where I got that from, because I want to show you sources. I don't want people to just think I'm pulling stuff out my rear end. Let's switch this. This is from Transport, Department of Transport, Republic of South Africa. They're basically paved roads. So if you do the calculations on that, so roughly about, if you do the calculations on that, roughly about 70% of their roads are unpaved. If you go to other sources, just Google, says one report states that the provisional was consistent of. Now you go to another source, family. This is the Transport Department. Now, if you go to other sources, family, this is the Transport Department, Transport Republic of South Africa. It says the province manages. Let me zoom in so y'all can see. Okay, it says provinces manage about 47,348 kilometers of paved roads and 157,482 of unpaved roads. So basically, of the total kilometers, about 70% of the roads are unpaved. So again, family, lots of capping, lots of image and video capping, trying to paint a certain picture, family. And like I said, we got to stop being emotional about this stuff. We just got to come out here and make videos like this, checking it. We just got to check it, family. The days of the disrespect, the days of you disrespecting our lineage and ancestors, you showing the most derogatory things about us, the days of y'all forming the Avengers, and I'm talking to the diaspora, to come for foundational Black Americans, is over. We're going to start slow cooking y'all asses. We're going to put all of y'all in that pot of gumbo, and we can take it one by one. Okay, you want to talk about poverty, you want to talk about ratchetness, you want to talk about crime. Let's pull up the crime, let's pull up the ratchetness, let's pull up the poverty in your communities, okay? Especially when you had foundational Black Americans, family, in the 90s, in the 80s and 90s, who brought international attention to ending apartheid. When you had brothers like Randall Robinson, you dig, who led some of the sit-ins and organizations that led to the Free South Africa movement on an international level. When you had people like Queen Mother Coretta Scott King, who I got around my neck, okay, who led protests and sit-ins, got arrested at the South African embassy, trying to bring light to your struggle. Foundational Black Americans in the 90s. Mandela gave his hat off to Black Americans and the civil rights movement that he picked from. Brothers like Steve Biko, shout out to Steve Biko, rest in power to Steve Biko, who created the Black conscious movement in South Africa, who said he directly drew from the Black power movement in America. In the way we paved the path for y'all that y'all never want to admit. Nah, we ain't allowing the disrespect no more. We ain't allowing the disrespect no more. Those days are over. Because what we understand is allowing those so-called few cancerous Africans have spread to the population. See, family, I'll end it with this. You don't get rid of cancer by ignoring it. You don't get rid of cancer by ignoring it. You get rid of cancer by directly addressing it and removing it, stepping on it and getting it out. Because if you don't, it's going to affect the other cells. It's your brother Chase. Make sure you get the ebook, 99 cents right now. 19 white men who admitted they were indigenous Black people in America. For 99 cents, click that link in the bio. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below, tell me what you think, what you can add to the conversation. And until next time, man, y'all know what it is. Peace and Black power. Foundational Black Americans, y'all are phenomenal people.